have a plan to take profit and get the heck out. Even if you don't sell the top and markets keep going higher, it's likely that you're going to be in a better position to buy back during the next bear market. Hey, what's up guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Hope everybody's doing well today. We're going to dive into XRP, Casper, and a few other assets, so please stick around for this. I want to highlight the price chart and discuss what we've shared in 2022 and why this is still valid today. So I hope you enjoy and let's kick it off. Alright guys, and a huge thank you to all that hit the like button. We have the XRP price chart at 52 cents. So this is something we've been sharing per the fractals, and you guys know that per fractals for Bitcoin, a variety of altcoins actually do follow similar Bitcoin or Ethereum fractals. Yes, certain parts are dragged out, some parts are shorter, but for the most part we can see a lot of similarities. So this is something we've been sharing since 2022, and it still continues to be my belief, even though it's taken way longer than I expected. We can see Bitcoin drawing a huge wave during the 2017 super cycle this way. For me, I believe XRP, it was this 2017 bull run. Now we can see we crash, retrace, come back down to the 0.059 fib, which we'll also share during March 2020. So we wicked down to that level, did a V-shaped recovery during the Bitcoin halving in May of 2020, and then went to all-time high prices. What's key for this level is Bitcoin recovered up to the 50% retracement up here and broke through that level of resistance and then went to an all-time high price. XRP drawing a huge wave, correcting, retracing, coming back down, hitting that exact level for support at 30 cents, which is also the 0.059. So let's turn this on. So as we zoom in to the Bitcoin price chart with fibs from the high to the low, and the same exact thing for XRP. And you can see a few similarities. So it is my personal belief that we are still in this area for XRP today per the Bitcoin price chart. So looking at the actual fib levels, we can see we crash, retrace up to the 50% retracement. As we zoom in a bit, we can see weekly candle bodies on this level. I'm using the 50% retracement to be a bit more conservative. Yes, we have wicked up to the 618. Sometimes other alts will retrace even higher to the 786 or 702. We can see we crash all the way down to the 0.059. And what has XRP done thus far? We have crashed, we have retraced up to the 50% retracement, as you can see with multiple wicks, 1, 2, and 3. We come all the way back down, and we use this level as support thus far. And what is this level? The 0.059 fib. This is the exact level that Bitcoin came down to on March 2020 before a strong recovery. And in this case, Bitcoin crashed during March 2020, a black swan event, right to that level and then recovered. We can see XRP, on the other hand, has been a lot more dragged out during this lawsuit lasting over 2 years. It's my personal belief that we are still going to be following some type of Bitcoin fractal in the future as we are going into all-time high prices. So to each their own, whether or not you think the XRP price chart has bottomed, I am personally positioned either way. I'm ready to get this show on the road. I'm tired of talking about XRP below its all-time high price. I've done well over 1,000 videos on XRP specifically over the past several years. I do believe in it. They are building. We are waiting for this lawsuit and a variety of other catalysts, which I'll also mention in this video. So we can see, we are starting to pop up past the 11.8. When Bitcoin did this, we actually got the show on the road and came back up to the 50%. So bottom line, as a rule of thumb, what I'm looking for on the big picture is if XRP can hold this level and climb up to the 50% retracement up to this level around 170, we have an open gap at $1.59. I will get excited. If we can break through this level, the make or break area, then we can discuss an all-time high price if we did follow this Bitcoin fractal. However, just like we have open gaps above that I do believe close, and it's just a matter of time, we do have some open gaps below, so please be mindful of that. As crazy as it sounds, we have gaps below at 17 cents and then also around 20 to 24 cents that are still open. So it could close. Black swan events are common in crypto. Anything is possible. In the past 2 years in this bear market has basically just reminded me anything is possible and never say never in crypto. But on the other hand, we are getting so due because of this XRP lawsuit and a variety of other catalysts. So we'll discuss that as well. And just a friendly reminder, if XRP gets regulatory clarity as a non-security on a go-forward basis, this is one of the largest catalysts in crypto history. Regulatory clarity for XRP would be one of the biggest things that has ever happened in crypto history. Remember, after 2+ years in a lawsuit, getting delisted off of dozens of exchanges, we're still ranked number 6. I guarantee you that any other altcoin in the top 10 being called a security by the SEC would not remain in the top 10, let alone for 2+ years. This is a huge deal. If Cardano was called a security, it would definitely dump and most likely not retain its top 10 spot for too long. The entire time, XRP has remained in the top 10 for 2+ years. Now, if Ripple the company pays a fine and they get regulatory clarity for XRP today and for the future, this opens the floodgates for on-demand liquidity one of the main flagship solutions for the company Ripple. This means that US banks and other US fintechs would be comfortable using on-demand liquidity and now have the option to do it with certainty. That is a huge deal. We have never seen what types of volumes ODL could do at scale with positive regulatory clarity, most likely on a global basis. We know Switzerland, UAE, Japan, UK, they have a lot more of a friendly regulatory framework. I know they are lagging behind innovation. They were a leader in innovation for the internet, but for Web3 they are a lot slower, but they can still catch up quickly. So regulatory clarity would allow XRP to finally be used with certainty and confidence for a variety of Ripple customers, which is huge. But remember, Ripple just acquired Medico for, I believe, $250 million. They own 100% of this custodian. So now we could also speculate that institutions and other funds would be comfortable holding XRP, one of which is the top 10 Bitwise index. Remember, XRP is in the top 10, but it's not in the top 10 Bitwise index due to regulatory uncertainty. Just like Raoul Pal said, if XRP gets positive clarity, the Bitwise index has to buy up XRP. This could be hundreds of millions of dollars in buy pressure. We talked about this in 2021 as well, and more time has passed. We are getting closer. On top of that, we have to consider a variety of exchanges buying XRP back and listing it for trading, some more liquidity and volume. And on top of that, there would be even more speculation between hedge funds, institutional investors, and of course, additional retail hype, especially if XRP breaks $1, $2, or $3 and surpasses its previous all-time high. So stay open-minded to the potential of XRP. There's so many people that sleep on it and dismiss it. They call it a banker's coin. They have no idea the amount of computation and transactions that could be brought onto this network, and payments is just one single use case. So notice, we have actually held that 30-cent level pretty well. You can see one almost candle bodies there, and then another perfect wick right on the 0.059 level. Is it possible for XRP to fall back down? Absolutely. What I'm looking for on the macro is if XRP gets up to this level, this is make or break. And just remember, when Bitcoin did actually break through this level, a huge impulse came. And when XRP moves, it absolutely moves. So you have to keep an open mind. This bear market lasts just long enough for all retail investors to call crypto a scam, lose their confidence in the market, and bears are going to keep preaching that we're going to crash. Could we do another crash? Absolutely. And bears are going to keep shorting, and it's getting pretty scary to want to short XRP at some of these levels. There could be short squeezes. And just imagine what positive regulatory clarity could do. As Brad Garlinghouse hinted, this could be weeks away, it could be months away. I try not to speculate too much because I'm sick of waiting and, how due dates come and they always get delayed. So for settlement, it'll come when it comes. I'm hoping I just wake up one day to some pleasant news and the price chart has just exploded, but until then, I really don't have any expectations on specific dates. All I see is a chart where this part of Bitcoin was very quick. I see the same thing for XRP, but it has been dragged out, still drawing the same thing. And when Bitcoin broke through that 0.5 retracement, that previous level of resistance, we went to an all-time high price. We essentially did a double top at the 3618 Fibonacci extension. That would be about $11 for XRP. If you wanted to be unbelievably conservative, you can look at the 1618 Fibonacci extension, and that is only just about $5. So $5 to $11 if XRP breaks into a new all-time high price. Now I know some guys are going to say, dude, that's way too conservative, you're wrong. Well, I'd love to be wrong when that time comes because I'm still holding a portion of XRP for life in case we go much higher. I know some people in the past have shown different logarithmic growth curves and saying, $20, $25, and anything's possible. We don't know how big this space gets in the coming years. And just remember that Ripple, the company with their Medico acquisition, said that crypto custody will be a $10 trillion market opportunity. $10 trillion for institutions to custody crypto in a regulated way with digital assets and cold storage. So anything is possible in crypto. I cannot hammer that point enough. But please understand why I'm a little apprehensive and I'm trying to be conservative is because we haven't seen an all-time high price in almost 2,000 days, as you can see here, 1,981 days. This has been a very long time. And just like I recently said, bear markets can last just long enough for us to question our sanity. 2 to 3 years of endless crashing, doing fake outs, bull traps, etc. typically will lead to a lot of frustration among retail investors, and they sell at a loss, or they sell and they call it a scam because they don't understand crypto cycles. Bear markets are the perfect tool for retail investors to sell, capitulate, and exit the market, as the smart money and institutional money is accumulating at these lows and laddering into positions before the next impulse. So for me, the XRP price chart is the epitome of a chart that is coiling up. There are a variety of analysts saying, yes, we can go lower, but all in all, this is coiling up and we could be drawing a massive wave when it comes. Here we have the XRP price chart on the weekly next to Fetch AI. This is one of the assets I do believe is leading the market, potentially even leading Bitcoin. So keep in mind, we already went through a variety of assets that have hit the R3, and a variety have already hit their March-April high. Now, I know some of these are lower caps, I get that, but there are also some interesting levels we're seeing for Bitcoin and Ether as they've already hit their weekly pivot and their 236 Fibonacci retracement. Fetch has gone a bit higher. And this is on the weekly time frame, and I think this is what we have in store for us on the big picture. We can see the R2 is right at the March-April high. That's around 90 cents. The R3 is around $1.14. And remember, we have an open gap at $1.59 all the way up here. If we drop down again to 30 cents, I'm just going to buy more. So Fetch AI has already surpassed its March-April high, at least wicking through that, coming back down to the P pivot. We have Injective also reaching the R2, surpassing even this wick on January of 2022, surpassing its March-April high, which is all the way down there. So we're seeing a variety of alts hit their pivot, consolidate, and start breaking through much higher. So Injective and Fetch did it rather quickly, but there are other alts that I believe are still down here, and they're likely to retrace. They might not do a 10x, but I think it's highly probable with a Bitcoin retracement and Bitcoin goes 40K or 50K, we're going to see a lot of alts at least get that bounce 100, 200, 300% from that low. It just takes patience. So I'm very excited to see what the XRP price chart does over the next month or two, and I think it's going to be very telling. We can keep an eye on different volume range profiles, but only time will tell as we get closer to a potential settlement. So por favor, please keep pumping. And also related to the Casper price chart, we shared this a long time ago in a variety of Casper videos, but just to touch on it, I still do believe the Casper price chart is following an early Bitcoin fractal. So just like we showed that XRP is potentially playing around during March 2020, whether we're here and we still have one more crash to go, or we're actually going to recover for XRP and head to a new all-time high price. I believe that Casper is more likely around this level when Bitcoin is here back in 2019. So I'll show you a few similarities. I personally believe that Casper is following an early Bitcoin fractal like we were here during this 2019 bear market bottom before a retracement and then one more crash, and then we can discuss all-time high prices. If I'm wrong and Casper is actually prepping for a 2017 super cycle, even better. Notice that Bitcoin in 2015 does have a variety of similarities with this 50-week moving average. So we have both distribution, huge sell-off, finding its bottom during the bear market. We can see huge sell-off, distribution, back into accumulation, finding its bottom during the bear market. It comes up to the 50-week MA, rejects it, another crash. We can see we came up to the 50 MA, rejected, not a massive crash. Our biggest crash or spring was all the way back there. We can see we reclaimed and popped right through that level, similar to right there. And when I'm looking for this, I'm looking for similar movements. I'm not looking for exact, because nothing's ever going to be exact. Now looking at Bitcoin back from the 2018-2019 bottom, we can see per the fibs that we've come back up to about the 11.8 Fibonacci retracement. For Casper, this gets subjective because I'm just using the weekly candle bodies as the swing high and the weekly candle bodies as the swing low. So we can adjust that, and I can actually use the wick right there on that candle body, and I can do the same thing down here, and we're still on that fib level, as you can see at the 0.059. So it really doesn't change it too much, so I'm just going to stick to the weekly candle bodies to be a tad more conservative. So if I had to guess, I think Casper is forming something very similar as we're coming back up to this 50-week moving average, battling through it, and we can see we are above it today. This can act during pullbacks as a level of support. So this is currently at 3.7 cents. So it's possible if Bitcoin comes down and closes the open gaps that we've shared a few weeks ago, such as this one. This is a crazy weekly open gap on Bittrex. We have CME gaps, and notice this is also the 50-week moving average. This is common to be used as support if there were to be a crash. It's just not 100% necessary. We can see a lot of similarities as we're prepping for this breakout down here to battle through these fibs, and we can see Casper drawing that same exact look. Remember, Bitcoin hit the R1 on this retracement. Just to show you for perspective, the R1 on this price chart is about 10 to 11 cents. That equates with the March-April high. So we have Injective up here. We have a variety hitting these R levels. We have Injective at the R2, we had Fetch at the R1, and then even smaller caps up to the R3. And long-term, breaking out of this trend, if you're just looking at the weekly time frame, you can see these wicks around, we'll just say like 22 cent area. Some are above at like 24. So 1, 2, and we have a wick back there. If you took a 4.236 market cap extension, that would take Casper's market cap to 2.4 billion. If you did that and then consider the circulating supply, would give you a price of about 21 to 22 cents, which is also another confluence with this top level. Now, if you wanted to be even more conservative, we can move these levels down and just look at these fib rejection levels. You can see the weekly R3 is now exactly on the 702, right around 18 cents. I've shared on Twitter and YouTube the open gaps for Casper, so we can see here, using this swing high, the R1, R2, and R3 all equate with different Fibonacci levels. So we have an open gap at 11 cents as well, and I do find that weekly R3 at this 702 at just under 18 cents extremely relevant. So whether you think we retrace up to here, then do a crash, and then move to all-time high, or it's actually much higher, as we can see using the weekly candle bodies. And the highest open gap is at the 702 Fibonacci retracement at 43 cents, as you can see, 43 right there. So bottom line, and this is not financial advice, this is just my opinion, I believe that Casper does retrace to higher levels, especially with a push for the Bitcoin price chart. The question is, where is it going to reject? And are we going to be following what XRP and Bitcoin has done and do another big crash below? Is one last opportunity to reaccumulate before an all-time high price. So I'll be monitoring this. If anything happens and it's completely invalidated, I'm completely open to that. We'll just take it one day at a time, but overall, just looking at the weekly RSI and studying a variety of things I've seen in the past, it is very similar to a big retracement for this year. And I personally see a lot of similarities right here, not quite into overbought XRP, not quite into overbought, backtesting the weekly 50 MA for support, getting a big push, then it got sued by the SEC, so this is kind of a black swan with the wick. But fun fact, this wick, we called this years ago publicly, and it came down and closed the open gap at 17 cents. Got sued by the SEC, but the bull run was still here, so XRP still did about a 1000% move or a 10x return. So that's a reminder for Cardano or any other project that may get sued by the SEC in the future, it can still pump when a bull run comes. So please keep that in mind. Of course, SEC calling an asset a security can dampen liquidity and, make developers leave and make the project weaker, and has tons of negative effects on it. Don't get me wrong. However, asset prices fluctuate and they can still pump even when they're called a security or going in a lawsuit for over 2+ years. And really quick, for anybody that missed this, this is one single use case coming. I believe they're waiting for maybe the 1.5 upgrade, which should be good to go in a couple weeks. I hope they're not waiting for the 2.0 upgrade. Of course, consensus will be better. Block times will be better. The Casper network will be cheaper. Gas fees are more predictable. But here, in real time, we can track the $7 to $10 billion in aggregate or total value that is being minted on Casper's public network. So this is intellectual property, and this is the largest enterprise deployment in crypto history, and it hasn't started yet. So this is why I struggle to be a mega bear on Casper. If Bitcoin dumps and Casper goes back to 3 cents, I will tell you right now I am stacking. But currently, just holding, just waiting for price action because I anticipate for Casper's price to move up, especially before the Bitcoin halving. So this year alone, we have a few catalysts. You have the Casper grant program with, a couple dozen projects launching on Casper this summer. We have Casper DeFi being built, NFT marketplaces just getting started, and of course the 1.5 and the 2.0 upgrade is going to help with this immensely. We have IPWE, which is just one single use case, and all of this is going to exist on Casper for the future and be a sticky use case. And there are other enterprise customers, real companies that you know today in the Fortune 500 that are using and building on Casper today. So please stay tuned. So I posted this. Huge shout out to Charlie, the creator of this website and this setup, and this is on Casper. We can see in real time there's only been 145 patents minted. We still have about 25 million patents to go. When you know there is $7 to $10 billion for one single use case coming onto the public network, it is very hard for me to be bearish long term. I can see pullbacks, I can see corrections, but I just want to emphasize that. And one more thing, just pulling up CoinGecko. So we have Render. We watched this one absolutely skyrocket. The market cap, just under 1 billion. Look at its 24-hour trading volume, 114 million. So 114 million in trading volume. Why is the volume so high? 1, it's an awesome project. 2, there's a lot of interest in it and they're building. And 3, they're available on the T1 exchanges, including Coinbase, Binance US, Kraken, Binance, all of the largest exchanges, and they have that ample liquidity. When there's tons of volume, over $100 million flowing through this every 24 hours, that's a big deal, and that can help price move up. Looking at Casper's volume, and this is why I want a tier 1 exchange listing, guys, and this is why I'm very bullish when Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, Binance US, other exchanges list Casper for trading. Casper is under 5 million. That's a difference of almost 23x. And all the people said Render was dead, and we can see from the low to the high, this did a 900% over a 10x return. And I just want to note that we did actually crash, whereas Casper could be here. We could hold and creek up. We can see that Render came back and backtested the weekly 50 MA. So Bitcoin can also do this, and let me just emphasize that again, pulling up the gap chart over here. It's possible. There's head and shoulder patterns that could validate that drop. There's the 50 weekly moving average. There's open gaps on Bittrex. There's open CME gaps. Anything is possible. But at the same time, I still believe we get up to this level. So I'm sitting patient. If we get the buy opportunity for altcoins when Bitcoin crashes, so be it. It'll delay it. I'm used to it after 2 years in this market. I can wait. I don't want to wait, but I will. So what do you think the Casper price can do when it has T1 exchange listings on a regular basis? Even if the volume is not as high as Render at 114 or 120 million, let's say it's up to 50 million on a 24-hour basis. I believe that'll be an amazing thing for the Casper price. And notice on Twitter, per the recent structures, a lot more people are starting to call for an all-time high price on Bitcoin. I do believe it happens someday. Can it happen this year? Anything is possible in crypto, but a lot of us have PTSD from crazy bull traps and rejecting key levels and then having a 50 or 90% crash afterwards in the altcoin market. So please keep an open mind regarding that, but we have shared by Kush right here, weekly impulse initiated. And he's showing a parabolic curve pattern, base 1, base 2, base 3 as performing base 3. So there's a lot of bullish narratives and there's a lot of negative narratives. Anything can happen. On June 1st, we have Hong Kong allowing retail to buy Bitcoin, Ether, and a variety on licensed crypto exchanges, including OKX, Huobi, and a few others. We also have Tether, which is doing something strange, and I'm not sure if I should be really concerned. They're using 15% of their net profits to buy back Bitcoin and prop up the price. We have NASDAQ launching a trading desk. You have all these huge companies basically adopting the tech, but at the same time, there's great fear in FUD. But there is great fear in FUD in 2020. People said this would never happen because XYZ in the economy and rates and all of this, and it still did. So never say never. Of course, keep an open mind, have a plan to take profit and get the heck out. Even if you don't sell the top and markets keep going higher, it's likely that you're going to be in a better position to buy back during the next bear market. We have Kush also right here sharing Ethereum. As you can see, the atom right there, then the Eve coming back and back testing it. So he thinks that we're repeating a similar fractal that we've seen in the past. And of course, I would absolutely love that. Anything is possible in crypto. Bear markets last just long enough for retail investors to finally flip bearish permanently, and that is when the biggest pumps can happen, whether we get just a market retrace or we are en route to a new all-time high price. Just remember, whether it's this year or in the next 3 years, I do believe it happens. We have Tony the Bull right here. Welcome to the final phase of Bitcoin cycle, specifically to wreck the 4-year halving cycle watchers. Because so many people are watching the cycle, we think that Bitcoin basically has to pump near or right after the halving. And it would definitely throw a lot of people off guard if Bitcoin goes to an all-time high price well before the halving. So the halving date is estimated to be between April to May of 2024. We have never drawn an all-time high before. I did an hour-long explanation of this in Discord the other day, but just to go over this briefly, you can see from this low until the next halving date for Bitcoin, which was November 28th, you can see we pushed up a good amount before that halving date, about a 500% move. From this cycle low to the next halving date, you can see we're moving 200-300% up. From this cycle low to the next halving date in May of 2020, you can see we moved about, we'll just say 200%. And thus far, from here, we've done a 100% retracement. So it's diminishing returns, and that's what I want to emphasize. But never before in history have we drawn an all-time high price before the Bitcoin halving date. So I'm open to it. I just don't know if I can call for it confidently. If it happens, it will catch a lot of people off guard, and I think just a huge pump and then a massive crash before halving would catch the most people off guard. For my personal view on Twitter, it seems like the majority think we're going to range for another year or two, and that would be worst case. That would absolutely suck, so let's hope that doesn't happen. And last but not least, we have iTrustCapital linked in the top of this YouTube video description and in the pinned comment for tax-free trading and investing in the crypto market. Using an IRA, a 401k, or a TSP, I've personally been using a Roth IRA for over 3 years with this platform. I was in the crypto market with another platform called BitIRA previously, and I've had an amazing experience thus far. So feel free to check into this. You can reach out to them at any time by opening a support ticket right here. So we're going to click support, and you can click here and submit a request with any questions you have, or you can just hop on the phone. They have over 2,000 plus 5-star reviews and over 6.8 billion in transactions. And with the recent integration with Fortress, they're going to be adding tokenized real estate and private placement opportunities, plus dozens of new listings. So there's a variety of alts already on this platform today, and you can trade with the US dollar pair specifically. Also, algo trading and Decentraland are going to be added for buying again shortly. They just pulled out, or their liquidity providers pulled back temporarily because of the SEC's recent comments. So they have to be extra safe, especially when it comes to a retirement account platform. So keep in mind, this platform is free. All it is a 1% transaction fee if you trade, which is basically the same thing as Coinbase, except your assets on iTrustCapital are secured in cold storage, especially by reaping the benefits of leveraging tax-free investment vehicles. So again, I have a Roth IRA. I pay 0% in capital gains because it is tax-free. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could hit the like button, let me know your thoughts down below, and my link tree is linked in the top of this YouTube video description, with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.